I went up and asked the lady at the box office for the tickets, and quite surprisingly she just handed them over without any questions, and we were obviously taken aback by this, and it was quite a wow factor for us. We were then ushered into the theatre. A bigger surprise that was led is that we were right in the front. I mean, they seated us a couple of rows, 2 rows or so from the front of the stage. So we were incredibly taken by all of this. We were all of 13, 14 years old, and it was a huge thing for us in those days. The show started, and a comedian by the name, if I recall, is Case.Pt. He came on stage and he did his gig with all the comedy and jokes that he spent, which kind of went flying over our heads. We weren't in the understanding. We were far too young to understand what any of that humour was about in those days. And before we knew it, there was this loud sort of ladies and gentlemen and orchestra was playing, and here comes Tom Jones, and we all sat there with our eyes wide open, larger than life, and he appeared on stage and he started singing and he started performing the show. We were incredibly enthused by all of this, a little bit confused because there was a lot of lingerie that was being flung over our heads, bras, panties, things like that, and we were just far too young to understand what all this was about. Clearly they knew. They were giggling and laughing as adults sitting around us, so it's a little bit intimidating. It was then for us at the time. And halfway through the show, a gentleman came up to me and tapped me on my shoulder. And I turned around and he looked at me and he said, "Mr. Woodward would like to see you in his hotel suite tomorrow afternoon." And I looked at him and I thought, well, you've got the wrong guy, the wrong girl here. Who's Woodward? I didn't even know what he was talking about. So in moments, in seconds, this was just forgotten, done and dusted, as I just turned back and continued focusing on the show in front. It was a little bit odd because it felt like he was singing to us. He may not have been, but it was pretty focused. And anyhow, wonderful that it was. The show ended. We all traipsed out of the theatre, and our friend's father that had given us the ride through had come to collect us, and we got into the car. And as he drove off from the theatre, I opened up my program. And in the bio section of the program, the words just flashed in my face where it had mentioned that Tom Jones's real name was Thomas Jones Woodward. And the word Woodward just really hit me quite hard. It made me pretty nervous because I thought, why would they want to see me in the hotel room? Or, you know, I was very unsure of what was going on. And I just suddenly put it out of I thought to myself, you know what, they had the wrong girl. With all of these women there and all the lingerie being thrown around, and they got the wrong person. So I forgot about it. I really did. It was just something that was confirmed in my mind. Anyhow, we all went home. We were dropped off at home.